apparently we're ruled on Earth by Draco reptilian aliens. They're scary ass motherfuckers. And they are ruling. They're cannibalistic. They eat each other. They would eat us in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Shit like that. And
Like
they're
eat. Like that show.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
They're like reptiles.
Yeah, that's what they're running the world right now. That according to the Navy, straight up, they are running the world. And the Navy buried by killing one of their main guys back in the 40s. They threw him off a hospital out a window. They said he killed himself. His name was Forrester. He was the head of the Navy. He found out all this shit that the Germans and reptilians were doing. And they tried to nip it in the bud, and he tried to tell people, and he ended up dead. So this old man, William Tompkins, come out way later in life and told about it, because he was one of those guys that got the same information Forrester in Annapolis at the top of the Admiral building in this office. They were all there, and they got this information. Reptilians were running the German army, helping the Germans with spaceships and shit like that. But the Germans couldn't build them fast enough. They ended up relocating to Antarctica and letting the fucking world just kind of do whatever. Because they already killed most of the Jews. They didn't get them all, but they killed most of them. They killed millions of them.
Yeah, the Orthodox ones.
So technically, they did what they set out to do. But this is coming from Navy people. This is classified information, documents that will come out because of this UFO. Now, they'll eventually come out.
And soon.
There was a flyover in Washington, D.C. after the war, and there was UFOs that flew over it. Well, those were German UFOs. They were coming from Antarctica. That's why they went down to Antarctica. That's why Antarctica is still sealed up today. I believe they went down there, had the technology, and these beings are hiding.
Yeah.
They probably took 50 or 100 of their brightest, best people. Some didn't go. Like Werner von Braun and 200 scientists came to America. They had, for some reason, I think a lot of them had families and they couldn't bring their families to Antarctica. So the single ones or whatever, the ones that wanted to, went to Antarctica. And by way of Antarctica, it could be outside our Earth. I don't know. They said there's an inner Earth where you can go down, where it's warm, you can caves in there, shit like that. I'm serious. This shit's real. Like, it's coming out of these high documents that are declassified. That's where people are getting all this shit.
Right here. U.S. intelligence agencies have 180 days to share what they know about UFOs thanks to the COVID-19. It was January.
And this is, yeah.
So this has been about 5 months. So you got about another month yet, June. Mid-June.
All of it has to come out.
Declassified.
It's a law that they wrote. It's a law.
That's how they got their money. They got their COVID money for their dirty deeds. But because they got that, then they declassify.
Yeah, they have to declassify all this UFO shit. Because they've been spending a lot of money figuring out or reverse engineering. And they gave this shit away to these high-tech guys. Bigelow and all them.
Big corporations.
They run it now, and we don't, because we can't get that information. Then they don't have to share it. It's
sold it to contractors.
Yeah, so that's treason. You don't sell that kind of shit.
Exactly.
They can save America. They can give us all free energy. They can cure any disease. Like, they could do that in a second with the technology they got from these beings.
They use it.
Yeah, they use it for war, and they use it for...
They use it for themselves. Why do you think the elite can live to be 99, 110 years old?
Well, they say some of them never die.
Yeah.
They move on. I don't know. I don't really believe that crazy shit. But I believe it's possible.
Prince Philip was 99 years old.
Yeah, but why? Why not tell us? Would it start a man versus alien war? A true war of the world? What would you do, Adam? Would you just get a gun and start shooting aliens like Halo and shit? I don't know. They say there's 70 different types, most of which are good. There's a few that aren't, though. And so they live off our energy. Like, when we have negative energy, it feeds their subconscious. I don't know how. I don't know. I can't even grasp that.
The Matrix?
Kind of, but...
Makes sense.
I don't know exactly if we're in a computer. If they're that far advanced, they're billion years advanced, then we have to be in a computer. Yeah. Because even if we're 100 years down the road, we could be in a computer.
We're in a fake reality is what we are.
Yeah. So when you die, you don't actually die. You wake up.
It's exactly what they say.
Yeah. Okay, there's this lady, Dolores Cannon. She's a psychic. She does hypnosis to people. All these people would say the same thing in the afterlife. The same thing would happen. You have many lives. It depends on what you want. You can go to different Earths when you die. And when you die and then come back, you don't remember that. They block it out. And a lot of us are alien beings that come to Earth, just pick and choose and get in these bodies and live our souls to learn. Like I learned how to weld or this or that or this. And then when I die, it's in my subconscious. Then when I go to my next body, I'll subconsciously know how to do all that shit again. And you move on. And she said this happened in almost every person she's done. And she said when she did UFO people, that they could be on a ship, their spirit, and that spirit's talking to aliens, okay? And then the aliens will talk to her through that person while spirit goes into the alien spaceship. And the aliens are talking to the spirit, and the spirit's coming out through that person. And they say the same shit every time almost, that they do their tests on them, that they study them, that it's like science class for them, and it's crazy. And then they say that this world is actually slipping into another dimension right now as we speak. It's separating spiritually. It's never happened. That's why all these UFOs and stuff are coming here. They're trying to see this. It's never happened where an actual earth or a land has split into a different dimension. Because we are starting to move on higher frequencies ourselves. So that's why you have the Mandela effect, okay? The Mandela effect, for instance, the Fruit of the Loom label. There's no cornucopia there. There never was.
We've talked
ever.
about it in other shows.
Yeah. Never was ever. Shit like that. Or Berenstain Bears, it's Berenstain Bear. Shit like that. There's a bunch of little things like that. We're slipping into a different dimension, so these things from our past are changing.
Yep.
Or there's time travel, which could create us to slip into a different dimension.